Good afternoon, chemists. Welcome back from our break. I'll make this a little bit bigger. All right, so welcome back. Like I had said, I really truly hope, Mr. Wozniak and I really truly hope that you guys were able to enjoy the holidays, recharge, get the batteries all ready to go for this big push towards the end of the semester. Granted, we do get another break in there for the holidays. I know that some holidays for this holiday for other people might have looked different or felt differently. And it certainly did a little bit for my family. But one thing that we tried to do was to implement a new tradition. My area has really been trying to get a lot of neighbors and surrounding neighborhoods to put holiday lights out and for us to go around and see them. So we did that. We got into the car, we got some hot chocolate, and we just drove around our area and just looked at what lights went up during the Thanksgiving break. And we're going to try and do that again, maybe next weekend or the weekend after, to see what new ones have gone up. And so it was a really fun time. And I'm asking you guys, about anything that was fun or exciting in your break. Maybe a new tradition was started in your family. Feel free to put that out in the chat. Okay, very fun. So like I said, for some people it didn't change much. For us, we definitely still got together with my sister, and I only have one sister, so it's not a super big family. Very cool. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. So it sounds like, some of us did a Zoom family thing together, which can be fun as well. Certainly not the same, but at least it's better than nothing. Oh, that's Emily. I'm so happy that you were able to see your brother. That is exciting. Thank him for his service for us in the Air Force. Yay, we'll clap. I'll do a loud clap for everyone. And a very cool tradition, bringing in your mom's heritage of Canada. So that's cool. So I want to talk a little bit about a schedule here. First of all, progress reports are being completed by teachers this week. They are going to be sent home Friday, December 4th. So I asked you guys to watch out for announcements when target grades were updated. For the kids that I grade, I actually just finished grading and finished with my target grades a little bit before this e-session. So I sent this out on today, December 2nd at about 11:30 is when I had all my target grades updated. Everything that was submitted was graded. And then I'm just asking you guys to take a minute to reflect on your target grades. The goal is for you to be passing all 3 target grades with an approaching or higher. You can look at my grades. Okay, I'm just going to ask that our chats stop for now. I know that we're excited to talk about some of the very cool things that were happening in Thanksgiving, but now I'm asking us to stop our conversation or we'll have to turn the chat off. Thank you guys so much. I'm asking you guys, all of you in chemistry, whether Mr. Wozniak is grading your work or I'm grading your work, Mr. Wozniak and I are going to ask you guys to pause for a minute, reflect for a little bit. What is your target grades? Making sure that you are in approaching or higher in all 3 of them. If you are not, you can look at my grades to see the grades on assessments and assignments. Try and fix anything that has an INC or NEE. I would say that Mr. Wozniak and I are seeing an increase in people just giving us links, and those links oftentimes do not work. And so our feedback to you guys is that we need a PDF file. I put this here in my announcement. I can definitely put it in Mr. Wozniak's class as well. These are tutorials or videos on how to submit a PDF file either from a computer or from your iPad. And they are very helpful to do that. So please take a moment to do that. And also please take a look, like some of you might have several like INs or NEEs. And if you look at the feedback, it'll say like, I can't get into the link. So take the time to do that. Always check, check to see if any of those are related to an assessment as well, which would, hinder where your target grade is at this time. So Mr. Wozniak and I are asking you at some point this week to do that, to take a look and see. Another thing then for this week is we are starting chemical bonds, or we're having just our summative on chemical bonds. We have 2 summatives this week. I'm going to go through these 2 summatives, and once I'm done with these 2 summatives, that is our e-session. There is not much to work on together as these are summatives, and so Mr. Wozniak and I'd like to see what you guys know. Yep, Sam, I already fixed that. So I'm going to make this just a little smidge smaller. And let's go into week 13. The first thing that I wanted to just give a shout out and say congratulations. This is probably one of my first chemistry classes to do this correctly, and it's a beautiful thing. I looked Mr. Wozniak's class and this class, chemistry as a whole. We put up this kind of parking lot here for you to ask specific questions that are maybe still not a little bit clear to you about ionic and covalent compounds. And what I love about this chemistry class is that we have some people asking questions, and then not only do we have them asking questions, but students are responding to their questions and answering them for them. And that is a beautiful thing. I congratulate you guys on being so orientated with your class and being able to go back on there and help your fellow classmates with answers to questions. So please continue to do that throughout the week. Just pop back in and see if there's anything you can help your classmates with and ask them questions or answer their questions. Okay, so we have Unit 5, a summative assessment. Yes, I did realize that I made a typing error, and I corrected that early this morning when it was pointed out to me. This is a multiple choice question about the last 2 things, weeks 11 and 12. It should be fairly straightforward for you guys to be able to complete. You do get 2 attempts on this, so if you don't like your first attempt, you are able to take a second attempt at that. Any clarifying questions about that other than my typo? All right, I'm just going to moving on. All right. Then our second one is determining bond type. It's a virtual lab. The ones that I've seen come through have been fairly well done, so I'm excited about that. But let us go into it and take a look at it. Okay, so this is a virtual lab, like I said. We are basically testing, I'm just going to go right here. So you're basically going to test some 3 known compounds, so we have sodium chloride, which is table salt, we have sugar, and then we have an element called copper. And so we have two compounds in an element. This compound is ionic, this compound is covalent, and this is simply an element. And then we have four unknowns that get tested. So that is fun. Yes, so this lab right here, I can always add it too. If we go here, if you click on this right here, determining bond types, you will get the lab right here. If you just clicked play, and then the lab, we go through the entire lab, and you can grab the data that you need to fill in your data sheet right here. Okay. And then what Mr. Wozniak and I are asking you guys to do is to pick only one. I'm going to bold that. I'm actually going to make this just a little bit bigger. I think that that's a little small. It's a little annoying that I wrote it that way. I'm really annoyed at myself, to be honest. Okay. So you're going to pick one of these four unknown substances, and whichever one you pick is really up to you. There is no right or wrong answer on that. And you are going to bring your evidence and claims together in this section and support your claim with the evidence. So I'm asking you to make your claim right, or I'm not asking you, Mr. Wozniak and I are asking you guys to make your claim right here in this data table on whether you think that the unknown substance is a covalent or an ionic or an element. And what you are doing is you are comparing the results that you get from the unknown to the known results. So if they have similar results, you can reasonably think that this kind of compound is going to be similar to the known compound. And so the way this is kind of written is okay, but we're asking you to, I'm just going to go like this. Not Sue. Let's make this bigger. And should we keep it red? We'll just keep it red, I guess. So when you are writing your reasoning, we're asking that you write your claim first. And so again, your claim was made up here at the very last spot on the data table. We're asking you to write 3 or 4 sentences of evidence to support your claim. So what evidence from this data table can you gather that supports your claim? So for example, was unknown 1 and sodium chloride having a similar appearance, or did they have a similar melting point, or did they have a similar conductivity results? We're asking you to pick the 3 to 4 data points that really are the strongest in your support of your claim. And then we're asking you for one concluding sentence. So if you think about this, this is one sentence. We have, let's say, 4, so we're at 5 sentences, and this would be 6 sentences. So this should be between 5 to 6 sentences in length. In length. And so the ones that I have read have been fairly decent and have followed this model fairly well. There's a couple that didn't really follow this format, and so because of that, they missed some things. So I'm going to say go back and look at that feedback. But that is what is asked of you as the second summative assessment this week. So I'm just going to stop and pause and see what clarifying questions you have. What about this seems a little bit tricky? We can always, add some stuff to help make things more clear. So you can do either, whatever you would like. You could take this and you could go file to make a copy and you could put everything right on here. Or you can put this in your notebook. You could draw out the data table and you could put all the data in your notebook. You could watch the video and, fill in the data table in your notebook and then transfer it onto here. It's really what works best for you. Right, you can, Sam, those are some good points too. Like you can, I mean, similarly to what you guys do with your notes or any other activity that we have in here, what works best for you? You could, again, put this all in your notebook, take pictures and submit that. You could make a copy of this, do what you need to do. You can print this out, staple it, tape it, glue it, whatever, onto page 21 of your notebook. You could print this out and fill it in by hand. It's really, again, how you work best. Great clarifying question, though. Thank you, Lydia. Any other questions? Okay, so at this point in our e-session, if you feel pretty confident about week 13 and what needs to get done and everything is clear to you, then Mr. Wozniak and I are wishing you the very best week 13 that you can have. It is a good week for a good week. If you would like to stay after this e-session, Mr. Wozniak and I can stay for a little bit and answer any questions that you might have about anything else, maybe grades, maybe a certain other assignment or assessment that you have questions on, and we are more than happy to stay there. Otherwise, I said have an amazing week 13.